Hey guys, it's Rayna. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello there and welcome.
Bye.
Today's video is a what's on my iPhone. I guess you can say this is iOS 14 edition, but then I would be like really late on that trend. That's really not even a trend anymore. Anyways, today I'm showing you guys what I have on my iPhone. Just FYI, I have an iPhone 7s. I don't have an iPhone 12, 11, or 10. Or 8. I have a 7, but I'm really grateful for what I have. Quick heads up before we get into the video. My phone layout and everything is really basic and really simple. It looks aesthetically pleasing, but don't expect a lot of color and kind of more on the plain side. And part of the reason is because my aesthetic changes every single day, so I don't want to spend 2 hours doing something really aesthetic and then 2 days later I change my aesthetic, so I don't necessarily like my phone layout anymore. But you guys will see what I mean when I show you guys what my phone layout looks like. And this is my phone case. It's also really basic. It's just a clear phone case. It has some bumpers on the sides so that I don't break my phone when it accidentally falls. And I have a black iPhone. Before we get started though, make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already and turn on those notifications to be notified every single time I upload a new video. Make sure to go follow my Instagram, and without further ado, let's get into the what's on my iPhone. I'm gonna start screen recording. Actually, I should move over a little bit. Okay, so I started screen recording. As you guys can see, this is what my lock screen looks like. It's really plain, as I said, and simple, but it's just this white background, and it actually has a really tiny tint of pink. I don't know if you guys can see it, but yeah, this is my lock screen. And then when you open up my phone, we have my home screen, and this is kind of what the layout looks like at a glance. And I actually only have one page, so I just basically have all my apps on one screen. And so this is what it looks like. At the top, we have a calendar. This is a calendar from Widgetsmith. It just says the month, the day, and the day of the week. So today is Thursday, February 4th. So as you guys can see, I have all my apps in folders on the right side of my screen. So there's only 4 apps that are actually on the home screen that aren't in folders. And these 4 apps are FaceTime, Settings, Camera, and Photos. I think most of you guys know what these apps are. FaceTime, I used to FaceTime my friends. Settings is just to kind of control the settings on my phone. Camera and Photos are used to take pictures and also to look at my pictures or videos that I took. Moving on to the widget underneath the 4 apps, we have the battery widget, and I'm pretty sure this is a widget by Apple. So this widget just makes it easier to see what percentage my battery is on. And as well, if I have my AirPods connected to my phone, I can also be able to see the battery percentage of my AirPods. Now we're gonna move on to what I have at the dock, and this is the bottom of my screen. We have phone, messages. I do have a social folder, but Instagram is one of my most used apps, so I just have it at the dock. And actually recently I just created an Instagram account for this YouTube channel. It's rayna, Ray with a double Y. You guys should go follow it. I'll also link it down below. I don't have any posts yet, but I will definitely be posting soon and also updating you guys on my story. I'm gonna try to be active on here, so make sure to go follow it. Next is the social folder, and we have Snapchat, TikTok, WeChat, Messenger, Weibo, and Discord. So all these apps are just for communicating with your friends. Of course, we have TikTok, because who doesn't like scrolling on TikTok? It's just way too addicting. Next up is the education folder. This folder basically includes all the apps I use for my classes, as well as educational apps to help with my classes. We have some Google apps, Google Classroom, Google Drive, and Google Docs. By the way, you guys can see a little cloud and an arrow. That means the apps are offloaded, meaning it's still on my phone and all the data is still being saved. It's just saving my storage, because I literally don't have any storage on my phone. I offloaded a lot of my apps, which is why most of the apps you see are probably going to be offloaded. Next up is PeoplePath, which is the app that my school uses to check grades. And then we have Quizlet. If you guys don't know what Quizlet is, or if you don't have it, I would highly recommend it. Go and get this app. It's literally so helpful. Basically, it has a bunch of functions where you can study for tests and quizzes, and you can study with flashcards, their learning function, their writing function. They also have a test function. It's just so helpful to study for quizzes and tests. Next up is Google Translate, and this is for my language classes if I don't know what a phrase or sentence means. Calculator for if I don't have a calculator nearby, I can just use it on my phone. And Translate, I'm pretty sure this app is by Apple, so I don't think I can delete it. I just put it in the education folder. So next is entertainment, and this is basically where I have all my video watching. apps and also some games on here for entertainment. We have YouTube, which is what you're watching right now. Subscribe right now if you aren't subscribed. And then we have Among Us, which is this multiplayer game that you can play with your friends. I'm pretty sure most of you know what this game is. And then there's Steve, and I'll show you guys later this widget. Tangled Master, this game involves using your brain, but I offloaded it as well because I didn't have any more storage. YouTube Studio and Subcount are all for YouTube analytics. I just put it in the entertainment section because that's where the YouTube app is, so I just decided to include those there as well. Next up, productivity. We have calendar, clock, and notes. I don't really know why I put these in here. I don't know if they actually should belong here. I might actually change it, but we have Gmail, which is where I check my mail. Reminders. I don't really use this app a lot, but it's pretty helpful. And then we have Notion. I love Notion so much. If you guys don't use Notion, I also highly recommend it. Notion is available as a website as well, and I use this as a planner. As you can see, it's really aesthetic, and there's these nice to-do lists, assignment completion trackers, and then you have activities, also a calendar. It's really nice, and it's also so aesthetic. Like, I literally love this app. Next up, Flora. This is also another productivity app. This app you can use if you want to do your homework or something, but you don't want your phone to distract you. You should definitely try out Flora. Next up is the editing folder. A bunch of these apps are offloaded because I used to edit on my phone before I started this YouTube channel, because I've always had a passion for video editing, but all these apps just take up my storage now, but I also don't want to delete what I already have on here, so I just offloaded them. So we have iMovie. This is a free editing app. For a phone app, it's really good. It has a lot of features for just a phone app. We have Fonto, which is what I used to edit my thumbnails. Pixar is a pretty good editing app. Video Star, you can create like wavy text, distorted faces that you can't do on iMovie. And then we have Pic Collage. It's like a collage app, and there's a bunch of layouts that you can choose from. It does have a watermark, but I just cropped that out. Google Photos I use to save more storage. You can upload your photos onto Google Photos, and it just saves a lot more storage. And lastly, Visco. This is a filtering app, but for the free version, it doesn't really provide a lot of filters or options, so I don't use this app too much. On to the music folder. This folder contains all of the apps that I use for music. Basically, we have Spotify, Soundbrenner, Music, Podcast, and Voice Recorder. I actually deleted voice memos off of my phone. I don't know why. And then I downloaded a voice recorder app. I don't know why I did that, but we have Spotify, which is the music app that I use to listen to music. Soundbrenner is a metronome because I do play an instrument. We have Music. I would really recommend Music if you don't have like Spotify Premium or like YouTube Music Premium or something like that. Music doesn't give you any ads at all. I think it takes up more of your data if you're not on your Wi-Fi, but if you're at home listening to music, I would really recommend using Music to listen to music. We have podcasts. I don't really use this app too much, but I find podcasts really cool. I do listen to some on Spotify. Now on to the tech kind of folder. All these apps are the Apple apps that I didn't really know where else to put. We have Compass, Measure, Shortcuts, Files. These are all like apps given by Apple. And then there's Widgetsmith and Photo Widget. Both of these apps are for creating widgets. I actually use Widgetsmith to create the calendar that I showed you guys before. And then Contacts and Wallet is just some more Apple apps. Next is the random folder. This folder is just all the other apps that I didn't really know. This folder is just all the apps that I didn't know where to put in other folders, so I just called it random. We have the App Store, Find My iPhone, Weather, Google Home, Transit, P-Tracker, and T-Mobile Tuesdays because my phone plan is T-Mobile. I think all these apps are pretty self-explanatory. Now, moving on to the kind of search bar. So we just swipe to the right, and we have this kind of search bar thing. I don't really know what this part is called, but there's a bunch of different widgets. We have calendar, the phone battery widget again, the weather, time, and my screen time, location, which you don't need to see. And then we have Steve, and this is what I was talking about before. So basically you can put Steve as like a widget on the side, and basically you can play this game. If you ever had no internet connection on Google and you've played the dinosaur game, this is basically what it is. I just had a different character from Halloween because I haven't played this game in a while. But yeah, this is the app library. Most of my apps are on my actual home screen because either way I have a bunch of folders, so I just put all my apps in folders. But yeah, that is basically what's on my iPhone. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a like and subscribe down below if you haven't already. Turn on the notifications to be notified every single time I upload a new video. I'm uploading every every single week, so definitely make sure to subscribe for more content. Comment down below any apps that we have in common, and also definitely make sure to comment down below any video requests because I want to know what type of content you guys want me to make. Thank you guys so much for watching and for all your love and support. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!